Welcome to this delayed episode of the podcast Guardians. We've been kind of busy. We've gotten our scheduling a bit off time wise, but we're here, and that's what matters. So, big thank you to Nick and John. What's up, guys?
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey. And I don't think it's delayed. I think, as a wide old wizard said, we've arrived right on time when we're meant to.
Yeah, right.
So,
We were
we wanted to leave
precisely what
it
he
for
means
a
to.
review of the trailer. So,
This is actually this was better timing.
yeah.
So, this
But,
actually makes sense. So, we will just jump right into it real quick. We'll just burn through this TWAB from 128.21. Uh, I skimmed through it, but I mean, if either of you want to sum it up for the Guardians out there who don't have time to read it, either one of you.
Sure. So the big ticket item I think would be seasonal challenges, replacing your weekly bounties, which is like the first step they're taking to like streamline the whole bounty problem we have at the moment, or however you want to look
Right.
at it. But so you have challenges that are gonna be completable throughout the season. You have like a specific list, and you won't, in the way where you were missing out on weekly bounties if you weren't doing them every week. This time you have like a chance to go back and complete everything. So it's still gonna be there. So you're gonna go back to the week one challenges. You can go back and do those if you missed them, and so forth. So I guess it's a better system overall to me.
What do you think, John?
yeah, no, I like it. To caveat some things, it's available for the first 10 weeks. So if you come in week 11, 12, and 13, you'll be able to play catch up. So you've got 3 weeks to catch up on everything instead of even in the final week of the season going, oh, there's new content. Well, no, there's not new challenges. So you can actually take a break if you chose to in regards to the challenges, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's going to be spread across all content. So Gambit, Crucible, Strikes, non-pinnacle activities and stuff. So I want to see how it works in principle, in practice. So, but yeah, it's a great change, absolutely amazing change. So,
Mm-hmm.
what about you? What do you think?
I mean, I skimmed through it to be honest, but I don't really need to know the specifics to like it, you know? Like, I think it's just better because bounties got out of control. Like, bounties were kind of cool in Destiny 1, and we wanted to see where it would go, and then it just got really out of control as Destiny 2 kept evolving, and it just became overwhelming. And I mean, it was overwhelming for veteran players, so I can only assume how horrible it felt for new players who barely know anything about the game. They don't know where to go or what to do, and then they have all these bounties raining down on them, but they know they have to do them, you know?
Yeah,
So this is just so much better. I mean, just the idea of it is better. And then when you look at the TWAB and you look at the way it's working, like it's just so streamlined. But and when we hear streamlined, we think, oh, Destiny 2 Year One. But like this is really good, a really good method to streamline because this is going to make it simple for people. They're not going to be overwhelmed, and you can always come back and finish the challenges that you didn't do. But what's nice is that it sounds like all these challenges were really thought about by the team to award you the exact kind of XP you need to finish your season pass on time.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if that's how they're measuring out the XP for these, that's fantastic. So then nobody has to worry about, I'm not going to get my season pass done. Just do these. And over time, you're going to get it done as you complete these, which is nice. That's really nice. So I think it's a good idea. Uh,
one other
it's
thing I think to highlight, if we are going through it really quickly, is it's mainly for Nick, and a little bit for me, but mainly for Nick is recoil and
Oh yes,
scope
I'm gonna get into
changes
that
for
real quick.
mouse and keyboard. So
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about that, Nick? Because you're a PC player.
Yes. So PC but controller player. So for me, it's not gonna be like okay. So the change
That's true.
that everybody's talking about right now is the changes to recoil on mouse and keyboard. So they're gonna change the discrepancy because previously you had a 40% less recoil on mouse and keyboard, but now they're reducing that to 20%. So it's going to be closer to what the controllers have. And obviously, that's a hot topic for a lot of people who feel like it's going to make, obviously, it's going to be harder to stay on target, maybe. But I think the counterpoint that has been laid out is like mouse and keyboard doesn't have to even factor in this the stability stat at all. Like they don't have to even worry about the stability stat whatsoever. So this means that maybe they have to, spend out those extra points in stability instead when looking for their perfect roll. So that kind of threw everything out of whack for like weapon balancing. I think that's why they're doing it, because you were just able to have completely different stat spreads and focus like everything on range, focus on everything else except stability. Whereas controllers had to do that. Same as controllers still have to use traction on boots, spend that extra slot, which PC doesn't have to because it makes almost no difference. And so control recoil changes for mouse, then some archetype changes, some visual changes to how submachine guns feel to use, and rocket damage increased by 30%, things like this, which will probably have a huge impact for PvE players. Maybe we finally pull out those rocket launchers and fusion rifles getting a buff here to range. This is all the stuff that I could nerd out for hours, and it really like affects my play experience a lot because I use so much time in the Crucible. And sniper flinch, so even more just nerfing to snipers, which I think is fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to feel about it, only because like I'm not a mouse and keyboard player. So like I don't even know what Destiny 2 feels like on mouse and keyboard. I mean, I've seen people on YouTube and whatnot talk about it and how either they think it's fine or they think it sucks. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't have an opinion on it because I just don't know. So sorry to anybody who wants me to have an opinion on it, but I can't give an opinion on something that I just don't know. So I guess we'll just wait and see how it feels when it comes out, and then we'll see how it goes. But I mean, as a controller player, the only thing that really bothers me is the existence of bloom. It just kind of makes using hand cannons a pain in the ass, which is not great because I love hand cannons, but until they remove bloom, I don't want to hear anything from mouse and keyboard players because they've had lasers. They've had lasers forever. So I think this was a change they're making because crossplay is going to eventually become a thing. Now, this does make me think that it's not going to be an opt-in system, because if they're going to make changes like this, then I think it might just be straight up. But who knows? We don't know yet. So we don't really have a strict opinion on this yet because it's not even in the game yet. So we're not even going to know how bad it actually feels. But I like where the rocket launcher buffs are going. I still think we need some of the perks and whatnot that rocket launchers had in D1. And like, I think rocket launchers are always going to suffer by only having one in the chamber when it comes to DPS. But I mean, looking through these buffs and nerfs and whatnot, the only thing that kind of annoys me is sword nerfing, because it's like the problem with this is it's not that they're nerfing swords per se, it's that they're not seeing what the overall problem is. People are using swords so much not because they're so OP, it's because every other heavy weapon sucks when it comes to DPS. So nerfing swords doesn't fix the problem. It just kind of makes everything a bit worse. Because, okay, great, swords are worse now. I still don't want to use linear fusion rifles. I still don't want to use grenade launchers, and I don't really want to use a rocket launcher. And machine guns have been kind of shit in D2 ever since they came out. Besides Xenophage, which I still don't really consider a machine gun, I consider that a fucking cannon.
It's a sniper.
Besides that, it's a sniper rifle, yeah. Besides that, I don't really think any heavy weapon is on par with swords. And it's not because swords are OP. It's because Bungie doesn't make them good. Like, so we'll see where that goes. I still don't think people are going to stop using swords. I still think they're probably going to be the best option.
Yeah.
Unless they nerf them into the ground, I still think they're going to be the best option, especially for Deep Stone Crypt.
Hmm.
So, but that's just my opinion on that debacle. If you guys have an opinion on it, feel free to give it. It's totally cool.
No, I very similar. I like to have choice. At the moment it's pretty much sword.
Hmm.
There are some grade launchers that are in heavy slot, and you're just like, what? No, I'll just stick with my sword. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I
Well,
mean, grenade launchers were nerfed previously, right, Nick?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So that's part of the problem.
So, well, I would say that I don't think we have a problem of DPS in this game. I don't think we're underpowered at the moment. So I
Right.
feel like it's reasonable to bring stuff down to level it, because if you bring everything up even more, there there's some stuff that is even more of a joke than they
Hmm.
are right now. So I would counter that maybe, yeah, there's some stuff that this is the only way to do it. Because if you bring up, let's say, grenade launchers even to what they were, like there's just some stuff that it breaks completely.
Hmm.
And swords right now break some encounters. So I feel like they had to do it.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
nobody can know what the overall balance is before next week. So
Yeah. And I mean, with rocket launchers, I just think some changes need to be made. Bring back some of the old perks. Even just put two in the chamber. Doesn't have to be three, but two in the chamber, I think at least makes rocket launchers just, it feels like a chore to use them at D2 because
Mhm.
you're like, fire, okay, I gotta reload, okay, fire, okay, I gotta reload. And then your DPS really suffers. Now, I'm not saying they need 3 or 4 or 5 in a chamber. I don't think they need to be on par with like what Lament does in Deep Stone Crypt. But it just has to be somewhat similar to at least make me want to use it.
Mhm.
People aren't saying, I don't think most of the community is like, Bungie, let's have rocket launchers do what Lament does. But I think people just want rocket launchers to be a viable option
Yeah.
in boss encounters, but in general. And they're just not. They're not viable.
Mhm.
Machine guns are even less viable. Now, if they would just shift machine guns to just being straight up ad clears, okay. But they haven't really done that either. I don't really think Bungie knows what they want to do with linear fusions and machine guns. Uh, and one could argue rocket launchers, especially scout rifles.
Yeah.
So, and I did see a point yesterday. I was watching a video, and the idea came to me that I agreed with them. I don't remember who it was. I'll have to look it up and give them a shout out. But uh, where they said Bungie should just, for certain archetypes, just make them good in PvE. It doesn't have to be good in PvP. Like scout rifles, I think was very fair. They said scout rifles, just have them be good in PvE. They don't have to be great in PvP. Who gives a shit? But if they're good in PvE, at least there is a part of the game where you could use them and they're still a viable option.
Mhm.
Trust me, Polaris Lance is still good, but it's not really viable compared to almost any other primary in the game.
Mhm.
I would love for it to be viable because it's a great weapon. So there's a lot of scout rifles out there that would be
Yep.
great if Bungie would just separate things. Now, I don't know how difficult that's going to be for Bungie. We've seen other games on par with them do that. It's just an idea, you know. We'll see,
Yeah.
you know. But we'll see what happens when this all launches.
Yep.
Uh, but breach grenade launchers are turning into mountaintop. They're all going to explode on contact. Some exotic changes. This is a great change that I don't understand why it took them so long to fix this. Exotic weapons would lose their buffs when you switched or when you pulled out your ghost shell. So they fixed it for Ace of Spades, Teraba, and Hawkmoon. I just don't get why it took so long to fix that problem. But at least it's finally getting fixed because Teraba is actually a lot of fun when it has its perk. Um, Borealis and Hardlight will now have a custom, quite short animation for switching its damage type. That's
Cool.
cool,
Yep.
you know. That's nice. And they fixed them. So increased damage fall off distance, reduced maximum buff stacks from 7 to 5, whatever.
Duality is gonna be crazy now.
Yeah,
1.2
duality is going to be
meters.
fun. Oh, yeah. I'm excited for that.
Mm.
Sturm will once again reload any equipped special slot weapon on kill, provided the weapon's full clip isn't already full. So that's cool. I mean, I've seen a lot of people on Xbox at least using that a lot, and it fucks you up real fast.
Oh yeah.
And they said they will be doing a quick tuning pass in Arbalest. So sorry to all of you who use Arbalest, but it's not yet. So get all your usage out of it now. So, um, besides the only other thing in this TWAB that I think is really worthy of talking about, and it's not super important, but Crimson Days has been sunset. We don't know for how long. We don't really know why. I mean,
Well, they said that they weren't
Well-
happy with it. They weren't happy with the level of quality or whatever it was. So I
yeah,
guess they probably got some kickback from the Christmas event and everything, where it was like, we're just baking cookies again. You know?
Well,
Right.
and also like what I think is also a reason, like it's another resource sink, like an
Right.
entire event of art assets and everything else that has to be like made, and they probably save so much money and man hours just skipping that for now.
Yeah.
They
I
realize
mean,
they have bigger fish to fry right now.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because, like, Crimson Days, and, that sucks. I used to play Crimson Days a lot in Destiny 1. Not really so much in Destiny 2. I mean, the only thing I would say about this is at least bring back doubles.
Yes, I was
It
gonna
doesn't
say
have to
exact
be
same thing.
Crimson Days.
Yeah.
Doubles is awesome. I love doubles. I play doubles whenever it was around in D2 or D1. I would play it all the time. I don't care what I got. I would just play it with my brother because it was just really fun. So, Bungie, if any of you listen to this, the janitor, somebody, just go up to Luke Smith and be like, bring back doubles. Just doubles. All right. I don't really care about Crimson Days, to be honest. Bring back doubles, and that'd be cool. Now, maybe they bring back Crimson Days in fall and it's awesome. I don't know. I don't really care. But, as long as doubles can come back at some point, I'd be happy about that because I just think there's so many modes in Destiny that it doesn't have to be special. Just bring back the mode. It's just fun. There's not enough modes to play. Like, give us a rotation of like all these modes that like it was in D1. It doesn't have to be an event. It doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to have special loot. I just want to have an option of what do I feel like playing today? Just anything but control.
Mhm.
I will never stop saying that I hate control. Anyway, let's jump into the meat of this episode. Now, as anybody who plays Destiny would know, there was a new trailer yesterday for Season of the Chosen. And
wait, what was this? I didn't know that.
yeah, there
God.
was. It's incredible. Callus's daughter, who's the new Empress of the Cabal Empire. So, for any of you new Guardians or whatnot, basically Callus was the old Emperor of the Cabal. He got exiled by Gaul. We killed Gaul. Callus leads the Loyalist faction, but the Cabal Empire is still there in Torbatul, being led by his daughter, Caitl. And female Cabal have tusks, so that's why she has tusks. She has come with, I assume, a large portion of the Cabal Empire. With her badass armor, in my opinion, looks like a straight out of what's that raid?
Warhammer 4000.
Well, yeah, Warhammer,
4000.
but it looks like the armor from Eater of Worlds,
Oh yeah, true.
definitely. But she looks badass. Um, Now I know that the joke on Twitter was it yesterday? We were on Twitter, and the joke somebody said was Cabal again. At least
I'm happy.
it's
I'm fine
Royal
with Cabal.
Cabal. It's
Yeah.
Royal Cabal.
Yeah,
So
but
anything
again, as I responded, I won't do the joke part of the response, but as I responded, what else are you going to do? You've got Cabal, you've got Vex, you've got Hive, you've got Fallen.
Yeah.
Who did I miss? Did I say Vex? I don't know. But anyway, you've got a
Scorn.
limited number of people, that you can use. We're going to get a potential Vex focus with Vault Glass. We know that. So there's it was never going to be done this season because there's season 14. So, we've just come from Fallen with
Yep.
with this whole expansion is Fallen based.
Yep.
Hive is dripping along for next expansion, so we're
Yep.
going to get them. You
Hmm.
know, Scorn, they're involved because there's some screenshots and stuff out there, and Scorn are involved with these
Unfortunately.
balls. So yeah, but again, let's just see what they do with it. As long as it's not like a 19 phase boss where you're like, I just want to kill this. Oh wait, I can't because he's immune for 30 seconds every minute. You know, so Scorn weren't going to be there, and then Taken are again they fall into the expansion. You know, the Wrath Queen, whatever it's called, in September. So yeah, it works that it's them, you
Mhm.
know, and I don't mind it because yes, we've known about this about the Empress, or before she was an Empress, we've known about the daughter for a while. Never seen her. Have we ever actually seen a female Cabal? You know,
Well, besides the concept art that you got for the Destiny 2 Collector's Edition, which I
yeah,
had
but
to
I mean
buy on
actually in
eBay.
game,
Yeah. So it's
yeah,
our
yeah.
first
So
chance to see
that's
her.
new stuff there, and there's the potential stories around it. We're face to face with the leader of the Cabal and the Red Legion. She's there face to face with us, and she's got the, pun intended, she's got the gall to say, "Bow to me,"
Yeah.
and
I
that's
would.
yeah, it's incredible. It really, really is. It's not somebody. No offense to Crow, it's not somebody tucked away in a little corner being afraid. This
Mhm.
is somebody. Whether she turns out to be an ally at the end of this, whether we work and we gain her respect, right now she's got the balls to stand there and tell
Mhm.
Zavala to bow.
Yeah.
When was the last time somebody stood up like that didn't then disappear through a portal? You
Yeah.
know, it's impressive. So I like
I'm
it. I was
excited. I mean,
genuinely
yeah.
hairs raised on my arms when I watched it. I was like, this is awesome. And as
I
ever, the
agree.
music and everything was great. So
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, I, I actually don't mind the Cabal, like Nick said. I actually like them. I know people think they're the most boring race. I disagree. I think, if anything, the Scorn are the most boring. I hate the Scorn. I hate them. I hated them when they first came out. It was
Mhm.
nice to fight something new. I still hate them. They have the worst
yeah, they do.
strike, and they the Barons were okay. I wish there was more fleshed out. We've talked about this before.
Yeah,
So anything besides the Scorn, I'm like, okay, I'll take it, like,
yeah,
but I agree with you. I mean, I thought the Red Legion was a bit boring, so I really like Royal Cabal. Like, that's sick to me. Like, I love anything that has to do with, like, whether it was Callus or this, like anything that has to do with the actual Cabal Empire.
Hmm.
Dope. So cool. So like when I first saw the trailer, I was at work, I believe, on break. And I was watching the trailer while walking around and I was like, "Oh shit." I had to like stop and rewatch it once. So I watched it once and then I rewatched it briefly. And I just needed to see the beginning again to see Keitel because I was like, "Is that the cutscene that we were kind of teased but we never saw?" And it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
I agree with you. I think, and this is just I guess it's just going to be me and John's theory. I think, like you said, we're going to fight, 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 fight in these proving grounds, and we're going to earn her respect. So she's no longer going to be like, bow to me. She's going to propose a straight up alliance, but this time actually allies, not like us working for her. And then we'll team up for the Witch Queen. That's what I think is going to happen.
yeah. I see
Sounds
what
like that's
you
what
mean.
you think too, John.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Interesting.
that's going to be our theory.
I buy
They're
that.
called proving grounds for a reason. Who are we
Yeah,
proving
right?
ourselves to? Why are we proving
Exactly.
ourselves? It could be like Callus. It could be to the point where arguably Callus was an ally,
Yeah.
but he could have flipped a switch and we would, if we didn't serve his purpose. Maybe this is the next step to that. Yes, uh, Callus and her, I don't know the exact story, but obviously, did she betray him or something like
She
that?
betrayed
So,
him. So
yeah,
the Midnight Coup hand
obviously,
cannon is
Midnight
called
Coup.
the Midnight Coup. So that's what I love about. Look, we can all have our opinions about the Leviathan raids, about the mechanics of the raids and the armor or whatever. But the one thing those raids did so well was the lore on the weapons and the
Yeah,
armor was
yeah,
so good
yeah,
that every weapon, every piece of armor explains the background of all that's going on. And the Midnight Coup explains that's where Callus was overthrown. It was the Midnight Coup. He was so popular with the populace that the conspirators knew they had to do it overnight, and they couldn't kill him. They had to exile him because if they killed him, the empire would have, rebelled. So that Can explains that as he was being overthrown and his soldiers were being killed, he ran to his throne to like signal an emergency, and he saw Caitl there, his daughter, and he appealed to her like, Caitl, like save me, like, and she's the one that stopped him from calling the emergency. She was the final one to turn on him. So that's what I think is so cool about this season, because I'm like, well, what if he comes back and we're working with her? Like, is he going to be pissed? Are they going to have like a reunion? Like, is she going to be like, I'm sorry, but we have a greater evil? Like, let's just kind of work together for now. Like, there's so many ways Bungie could work with this. It's so interesting. So, like,
Yeah.
I think people are overreacting based on, oh, Cabal. But when you take a step back and you think about all the possible storylines that can come out of this,
Yeah.
it's so cool. Like, it's so interesting. So,
Two things I'm looking forward to with it. One that is definitely, well, hopefully, is a new unit, because with Beyond Light we've got new units, didn't we, for new races?
Mm.
Like for the main focus races. So we've got a new Vexed and a new Fallen.
yeah,
So let's get now Cabal are the focus of this season. Let's get a new Cabal unit,
I hope so.
because that'd be amazing. You know, we've got the tank, haven't we? The big tank that the strike's based in and stuff.
Yeah.
But give us a new unit. You know, whether there's more female Cabal and they are a command unit, or
Hmm.
something like that. I'm looking forward to that. And then
Yeah.
the story, to see, just to hear her say, because we won't know. We as Guardians won't know that she's the daughter of Callus, will we? Really? Because the law's not printed on the gun. The Guardian doesn't sit there on his day off and read the gun and go,
Yeah.
oh, we get that as players, but as Guardians, we won't know who she is. Um, or in theory, we won't know. There might be
Mm.
somebody out there like Osiris might know, or something like that, but we
Yeah.
as everyday Guardians won't know. So for that realization to be like, the Leviathan's disappeared, did she have something to do with it?
Well,
He's
the,
turned
the the
tail,
the
but
thing says on the website, it does say leader of the Cabal and daughter of Callus. So I would assume Zavala knows who she is before he goes into the meeting.
potentially then,
Um.
yeah. But again, if that reaction, so even if it's just after the meeting, because we're not in that meeting, are we? It's
Yeah.
Cyrus and Zavala, and then later on it's Zavala and Crow. So even if he just stood there in the tower in his same position he's been in for like 3 years and just goes, you know, this is who she is, just to hear that connection from something from the very beginning of Destiny 2, it just, it just ties it together. It makes you realize that, raid layers are controversial. Not a lot of people like them. I liked it as a mechanic, as a feature. I think they could do more of it. Every season, every 2 seasons, drop an extension to the existing raid to keep it fresh. But um, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. Genuinely, it's not. It's the same hype level for me that it was when Beyond Light was coming out.
Hmm.
Arguably more, because we've got a roadmap. We know what's coming. Whereas Beyond Light, we were like, come on, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. Whereas this, I'm like,
Hmm.
it's loads. It's
Yeah.
loads.
Yeah.
So
I hope. I don't know if I saw it in the trailer. I would like the Shield Cabal to no longer have shootable shields. Like, I think it'd be cool if they had just straight up ornate, like big shields, and that you'd have to like actually get around them or try to shoot their feet or something, like in D1. Like,
could
no
we,
longer those Red Legion shootable shields,
we
because
get a shield, don't we, as a finisher?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
It's
we
one of
do.
the seasonal pass finisher. Yeah, you get the shield.
Oh,
So
that'd be sick. I mean, I
yeah.
know the Hunter was doing, I don't know if it was a finisher, but that Trials Hunter was doing like a kick, and he was like
Oh,
kicking a
so
knight
yeah,
or
like a Pele
something.
kick kind of thing.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe that's a finisher, but that was sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the thing says with the pyramids and Zyvu Wrath destabilizing the system, Empress Caitl, leader of the Cabal and daughter of Callus, seeks an alliance. But when she demands, so she came to us.
Yeah.
But when she
That's what you said.
demands more than Zavala can offer, negotiations collapse, and Guardians must become the tip of the spear that strikes at her growing war console. So I think, like you said, I think our theory is going to hold up. I'm pretty confident actually in this theory for once. Like, I think we're going to have to force her to basically, as we destroy her war council, kind of like in the hunts here, like we were eliminating them so much, and then we finally hunted down the big bad. I think we're going to we're gonna wreak havoc on her war council during the season and eventually kill her commander or something, and then she's gonna be like, okay, let's just be allies. Let's stop fighting. Because I don't think Keitel. Look, she's not the most important big bad, but like she's far more important than just being like a season pass, like a season. Just kill her off.
Yeah. What do you think, Nick? What do you think? Sorry, me and
Yeah.
Dimitri got carried away with
Yeah, we're so excited. What do you think?
No, I
Nick?
think I'm just learning from you guys. This is something that I'm nowhere near as read up on as you guys. So,
Mhm.
so no, I think I would maybe temper my expectations about her like being a more overarching story beat. Maybe it'll be one season and done, but hopefully more.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
could
I'm
be.
kind of I feel like it might
there.
be
Did
just one
you put
season.
the Vanguard?
Oh,
Right. The new.
You put the Vanguard. Next
That'd be
season, she's just
sick.
there
you
like
humans
totally
are all
ignoring.
right.
Like,
Let me join you.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, right. That'd be interesting, actually. But she definitely realizes how powerful the Guardians are, so that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Goes a bit
Welcome to the
different.
Helm, HELM, the Helm. Designed as the ultimate Vanguard staging ground, the spaceport, oh, there you go, provides the resources Guardians need to face the most powerful of incursions. Here, the war table has been set. Meet with Zavala, acquire the hammer, proving, and orchestrate an honorable victory. So it's a big floating spaceport that has a meeting room very similar to the old tower. I believe on Instagram somebody had said the old tower is being reconstructed in the trailer. So I was like, interesting. Maybe for the next season. Um, so this is a big floating spaceport, kind of similar to this idea that I kept floating for the last couple months of like what the original tower is supposed to be, that
Yeah.
big space station. This is like a happy medium between the two. As long as this gets to stay for a little while, at least for a little while. I mean, like you said, it's a free for players, so I'm assuming it's going to be around for at least a while. So, but I mean, it seems pretty cool. We don't really know anything about it yet, but it seems sick. What do you guys think?
Yeah. There's very little information on it, and I'm looking forward to discovering it. I'm going to assume I'm going to put it out there unless it's confirmed, and I didn't read it, that the hammer will end up being the artifact of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's going to be that. So, because otherwise, what is it? Is it a weapon? Are we going to have a hammer? Because if we're going to have a hammer, that is badass. That
I
is
would like a
absolutely.
Hammer of Dawn type thing, kind of
Yeah.
like in Season of Dawn. That fucking thing was sick, whatever that was.
Yeah, I think it'll end up being the artifact that we level for the season. I think
So
Probably.
is this then a social space?
I think it's sort of like a social space. I think so. Like it's like a hub.
Like a reef kind of thing?
I think so.
that'd be pretty
I
cool.
think that's what I would describe it as. And it's like looks like that map probably tells you where the battlegrounds are.
Yeah.
Um, because right below that, the activity is battlegrounds. The fallout from the failed treaty has resulted in Cabal forces taking up arms on multiple destinations. Prepare to defend the glory of the Empire. In this three-player match-made activity, Guardians will engage in ritual combat against Keitel's chosen warriors. And if you can look, you can see that it's taking place in different locations with different bosses. And if you click, you can enlarge the pictures. So we got like a Cabal Centurion who looks like he has some rocket launchers on his back. I love how ornate these royal troops look. Like they at least look different, which is
Yeah.
sick. I've always thought the Cabal had underrated appearances. Obviously the regular Cabal are kind of whatever, but like the the Scions and the Centurions and all them look sick. They're clearly on Nessus, the Cosmodrome. This location I can't tell what this last one is. I think I don't know what that is. But um and then this big one is clearly the Cosmodrome. I like the additions of like the fleet is literally floating above the destination. Like they have like the royal fleet and they got like these royal banners coming off the back of the ships and shit. Like that's really really cool. Um I don't know if that is actually the helm because that ship looks completely different from all the other Cabal ships. Maybe that's the helm. Maybe the helm travels to wherever the battlegrounds are.
Well, the helm is the Vanguard staging ground, though.
But it's
Yeah,
but it's a spaceport.
Yeah,
Sure.
but that's
The spaceport
stationary.
means it's
Yeah.
stationary, like
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that must be some special Cabal ship. Hmm.
probably the new Cabal ships.
Mm-hmm.
Is
That's
it
cool
the
though.
tank
Yeah,
for the trailer?
because it's got the Vanguard. I mean, it's got the Cabal banners on the back of it.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
can't see that. Okay.
oh, the
Oh
artifact,
yeah. So it's
sorry, is the
got
Bell
it.
of Conquest. I completely missed that. So
Oh, okay. So the Hammer of Proving is not the
yeah, it's not
artifact.
the artifact. Yeah, it's Bell of Conquest. So
Okay.
it looks like it's a Cabal relic though. If you look at the picture.
The Bell of
So
Makes
Conquest.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Looks like a Royal Cabal bell. Yeah. It's
yeah.
sick.
Look, new
That's
seasonal
really
mod to
cool.
customize your playstyle. I
Mm-hmm.
don't get how we customize our playstyle because to be fair, being able to let my grenade, stun a champion is not adjusting my playstyle. That's just me not having to waste a slot on something else. So
Exactly. I agree. And then Vanguard Strikes. These are things we already do.
Mhm.
Devil's Lair and Fallen Saber coming back. I mean, cool. But the proving grounds is what I'm interested in. The champions of humanity face the champions of the Cabal to determine the fate of the last city. So you have to storm a big land tank. Looks like it's on Nessus. Um,
yeah,
and it's it's probably very similar to the one that was on Mars.
Mhm.
Um, but at least it's new, you know, and I like that. The fact that there's old strikes coming back, I'm just like whatever at that point. Like I wouldn't say I'm excited. I'm just like at least it's new. At least it adds to the strike pool. Not that anyone's really farming strikes right now,
Yeah.
but cool. I mean, I think I speak for a lot of the people in the community, including you guys. Proving ground seems cool as a strike, like, hey, it's a new strike, cool. But how many times we're going to play it to where we get bored of it?
Mhm.
how
Um,
many times are you going to appear in the rotation? Yeah, So
yeah, especially with all the other strikes that we farmed to death. If this season had said there's 3 new strikes, then I would have been like, oh, well, let's talk. But the fact that 2 of them are old kind of just bums me out because it's just like I used to farm the fuck out of the strike playlist,
Devil's
hardcore.
Lair is the one I'm looking forward to most because going back in there, and I hope me and Nick was saying briefly before we started that. Well, I was saying to Nick that I hope that there is enough changes to it for it to still feel fresh. Like
Mhm.
obviously the last track we got in the Cosmodrome, same layout, or everything was the same, but it had new lore, it had a new purpose to be there. And
Yep.
if we're just going in there just to kill, the Fallen Saber again, and if we're just in there again just to
Well,
run Devil's Lair exactly how it used to be, the fight's exactly the same, and you just hide under there and you get teleported there. It's it will feel great at first because you're like, oh my god, this is literally the original strike. We played this to death during all the alphas and betas, and then when the game came out, it's incredible. And then you're like, but I own this content already. Yes, it's free, so we're not paying for it, but I've already got it on another
Yeah.
game. Do something new with it, new story. Rasputin. With a Fallen Saber, this could be. It could have Anna Bray in there. With Rasputin, and they could be building his body. You know, they could do something with it, even if it's so small that it's literally that we're defending her while she's uploading his consciousness or something like that. It doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to be enough for us to be there and not just go, oh, here's a strike that we could have put in 3 months ago, but we chose not to. We wanted to milk it. So
well, I think the Omnigol one kind of sets the bar or for what we can expect. I
yeah, and
think
I'm
they
happy
won't
with
do
that.
anything less than that.
Yeah, and if they do
But
that,
hopefully
I'm
more.
happy with that because new boss at the end. Yes, it's similar mechanics, but new boss, um, new lore, new story, and all that everything in there is the reason for being there and the journey throughout it is new. Um, and that's all I want. I don't want new areas. I don't want new, completely new experiences. I just want there to be a reason why we're going in there that
Yeah.
ties into the current situation. So not just, oh, by the way, you've gone back to Cosmodrome after 6 years, and Fallen Saber's still floating around. Just go and kill him for your 90th time.
But I mean, we already see the bosses on these pictures. So you see, it has to be the Fallen Saber. Otherwise, they would name the strike something else.
Yeah, but why is he there? Is he,
Okay.
is he
Yeah.
been repaired? Is he been reactivated?
Yep.
Why are we going
Yeah.
in? That's again, it's surely it'll tie into Rasputin. So yeah, it makes sense for it to tie into Rasputin. So and Devil's Lair, it could be we see Sepis Prime or whatever his name is, but it could be actually is something to do with the Fallen from Europa. Maybe somebody from there has gone there, and there's a few stasis fallen in there.
Well, also it says fallen. It sustains the fallen house of devils in the Cosmodrome.
Yeah, but this is the exact same text as Destiny 1, so I'm hoping it's not literally copy and paste. Because if it is, it's incredibly lazy. Again, there's no reason why this content wasn't here in November if it's literally just copy and paste. And that's my fear. This is the only negative I've got from all this news is these two strikes. That if it's copy and paste, it's lazy. Obviously, there's time and money and assets and manpower, so it's not lazy that they've not done anything. It's lazy that or it's ignorant for them to think that we're going to lap this up, because if there's nothing different to it, they could have released it in November and had a full Cosmodrome experience. Instead of going, oh, by the way, here's 2 strikes for you. So I don't know, I might be entitled or whatever, but yeah. But we don't know. We'll find out when we next Tuesday. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think it's very important for us to. Oh, I just got more money than I thought I was getting. Sorry, I just got paid. Yeah, right.
My season pass for me next week.
I'll be honest, guys. I was on a selling app, and I saw a Destiny Titan that looks like Saint 14, and it had a really good price, and I was like, ooh, I might have to buy that. But no, I mean, look, I think you guys all make very valid points. I think it's the truth. I agree with you. It needs to be a little bit different. It does need to have some differences. If it's the exact same voice lines, same everything, then what the fuck am I paying for and what am I playing for? It's like I could go back. I have Destiny 1. I could go back and just play it, So it does need to have some changes. It doesn't have to be completely new, although I would prefer that. I'm still a little ticked off that they brought back old strikes, but if it's at least a bit different, I can live with it. It just really comes down to how different. But I mean, we're not going to know until it comes out. So, but then we
I'm just
jump
sure
in.
Han will be a part of it. If it could be a continuation of his story, and that'd be enough for me. If he's
Right.
recovering from the loss of his fire team,
That's
and
true.
he's going, oh look, we need to revisit these old areas for some reason or another. There's something like that. They brought this voice actor on board. They've got a character model. They've got a story there with him. Just kill him. Send
Shawhan
him
in
in and let
that
him
one.
die. I don't care. Just do something. So
Put him in there, Shawhan in that one, and then put Rasputin slash
Anna Bray and
Anna Bray in the Fallen Saber, and then you got 2 new storylines in the old strikes that freshes it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I'm waiting for the day Shiro 4 comes back. Please come back. But so then we jump into exotics and gear. So we have a clear exotic quest redacted that's obviously from Tex Mechanica. I have no idea what that could be for. I think that's interesting because Tex Mechanica is super damn cool, and there's not really that many of them. So
First curse.
that's interesting.
Do you think it could be an old
first
one coming
curse?
back?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, but first curse with revamped perks probably, because when you look back, first curse's perk sucked. So the new perk,
Second curse,
that's really cool. First curse, it looks like Last Word, a little bit different, but it's shot really slow, really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of that. I think that's super cool.
I love it.
And then we got this. Actually is really cool. Now I always make the joke, I hate bows, but I love Leviathan's Breath. Like I actually really like that weapon. I like the idea of heavy bows,
Yeah.
But this looks sick. I don't know if it's like an energy weapon or if
we
it's
don't
like
know yet, do we? What it is?
It's a heavy.
So
I think it's a heavy, but Taiku's divination this ancient recurve bow, which is clearly like it must be some sort of like I don't know. It's probably like some Royal Cabal ancient bow they made back in the olden times, but who knows? That seems like a this seems like the name of like a Scion flare, like
Sure.
Taiku or Tiku, because if we remember Season of Dawn, all those Scion flares had names like that. But
Yeah.
this ancient recurve bow charges multiple solar arrows that can track several targets at once. So there goes
So good.
balance.
I hope it's
But
not heavy.
it
I hope it's not
sounds
heavy.
so cool.
I want to go into
I hope it's
Crucible and just
energy.
wreck.
I hope it's energy because that's one of the few bows besides Leviathan's Breath that I would actually use. If it's an energy, I would totally use that. That's sick. It's sick looking, and the
Yeah.
perk sounds really cool.
Well, think about it. So, what was the last seasonal? It was the shotgun, or was that the seasonal before?
Yeah, the duality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
duality was this season, wasn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was energy. What was the season before that? It was
the scout rifle.
no, maybe.
There was something in between. Maybe.
Wasn't it the arc scout rifle?
Symmetry. I think there was something in between.
Yeah,
Maybe you're right.
Before
Maybe
that, we had matchstick or matchbook or whatever it was. That was
Oh, and that was energy.
yeah. So it
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it could be energy. Oh, if it's energy, it'd be amazing. It'll be frustrating because I love Trinity's Ghoul, but I would definitely swap it out for this. Just to give it a go.
Mhm.
That, three enemies
I-
at once.
Solar.
Is it got three? Yeah, it's got three arrows. And then just imagine what they could do with the catalyst. Allow you to merge all of them into one shot or something like that, and just do massive damage.
That'd be sick. That'd be really cool, and it looks so cool.
It does, and it's literally a week away as well. That's the thing. It's like, oh my god, can't wait. Well, it's less than a week, isn't it? 6 days.
Yeah. And then we see Power Gathered, Weapons and Ornaments, a cache of new and reissued weapons to collect, exotic legendary ritual, over 25 weapons added to the loot pool. Ah!
Oh yeah.
yes.
Oh, my knee. These are all, and let's just get it out of the way. These all look like reskinned Leviathan weapons.
Really?
They do with some minor changes. They all have that look. Now, I'm not saying that to complain. I am totally fine with reskins as long as they're new weapons, new perks, or different perks.
They're going to be trials weapons, aren't they? These, aren't those 4 trials weapons?
I don't know. Oh, don't do that to me.
I saw a trials hand cannon in the trailer.
Yeah, in the trailer, there's a hand cannon that's trials. So
yeah, but these weapons, I see.
This doesn't look like that to me.
These don't look like trials weapons. I think these are weapons from the battlegrounds because they look Cabal. And if these are the battleground weapons, they look sick. Like they are. There's remnants of them that look like Leviathan. But I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing because Leviathan's weapons looked awesome.
Well, I mean, Cabal, right? That's the common denominator, right?
Yeah.
It's got that Cabal
I like it.
Stamp.
They look cool. And I hope that one on the right below the rocket launcher, I hope that's either a pulse. I think it's a pulse rifle.
Oh, pulse maybe.
Could be a pulse. I hope it's a pulse because if that's the pulse, it looks fucking dope.
Is there 6 weapons on there, and we can only really make 4 out there, can't you? There's a SMG below it at the very bottom.
SMG. I see a.
What's the 5th weapon down? The one that's under weapons and ornaments.
See, I'm gonna zoom in.
Well, it looks like a sword, right? But I think it's just background stuff.
Wait,
it's kind of.
Yeah. But either way, there's an SMG, which is cool. I like my SMG.
Wait a minute. That sword kind of looks like it's 2 connected by a hilt. If you zoom in,
that'd be sweet, wouldn't
it? Is that
like a double-bladed sword? It kind of looks like a double-bladed sword.
Is that what somebody was wearing on their back?
Oh, it's a bow. It's a bow. That's a bow. If you zoom in.
Oh yeah,
that's a bow. Okay.
Yeah, the handle's in the middle, isn't it, where the hilt is?
Well, I'd be cool if it's like a kinetic bow.
Imagine this is never going to happen. Imagine a bow that's got an alternative fire that turns it into a double-bladed sword.
Oh my god!
Imagine it.
Toxic.
That'd be amazing. You're just there, and then you just keep your finger on X to change the weapon fire on it, and boom, it's a sword.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I don't know how the ammo economy would work with that.
I don't care. Unlimited ammo.
What if it was like an ability? Like you could be shooting it as a bow, but then you get surrounded, so you can switch it and then like use a quick like one or two attacks to like
Hold
get
on, let me
everything.
get Luke on the phone. Let me get
Yeah, right.
oh,
You're like,
Luke,
look, I
Luke.
have an idea.
There was something like that in Bloodborne, and it was perfect.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. Is
yeah,
also
Diamonds.
Crow? Can you be the speaker? Yeah, cheers, thanks, bye.
yeah, right. Oh God, these weapons look dope. They look really cool, and I know that we shit on rocket launchers because like rocket launchers just they're not where they need to be yet. I still have a rocket launcher on my character at all times just because I like things that go boom. But
I like
like that rocket launcher, it's literally the same rocket launcher from Leviathan with some minor changes, and that one looked awesome.
single tube, yeah. And
Yeah.
the thing is, as you went boom there, your camera dropped a bit, so we could see the mask from Borderlands in the background.
Oh, yeah,
So
I
it
have.
worked really well. It's like, I like things to go boom, and then
Yeah,
there's
I don't know
Borderlands.
if I can. Oh, yeah. Well, it's anyway. Yeah, I have three of them. They're on my wall. Um,
Have you seen
Umbral Engram's
off
coming
topic?
back.
Have you seen that
Yeah, go
Gearbox
for
has
it.
been purchased by by the parent company of THQ Nordic?
Really
Yeah, yeah, they got purchased today.
interesting. What do
So
you think? Is that bad or good in your opinion?
that's amazing because
Mm,
Randy Pritchard
mm,
or Pritchford, whatever. Anyway, he needs reining in, and it needs a company that owns his company to rein him in.
mm.
So
Well, I haven't
nobody gets
played
a $12 million
Borderlands 2,
freaking
but
bonus before a game is released. He does, but yeah. So
that's true. That was a big news story earlier. So, I
yeah,
mean, if you're a big Borderlands fan, I think that's something to be happy about.
yeah,
Stability.
yeah.
Um,
But it's Gearbox as well. It's the whole of Gearbox. So there's so much they could do. We could get
I mean,
actually get a good new Duke Nukem game. We could get
oh,
you know, yeah,
don't.
I know.
No, leave
Oh,
Duke Nukem dead. Leave that in the past. Ugh. Didn't even like it. Never even liked it. You
ain't got
know.
time to bleed. Uh,
I agree,
Fire in the
uh,
hole,
Dimitri.
yeah.
asshole. So,
But Umbra Engrams are coming back.
yes,
There's a
they
new
are.
prismatic caster.
We said that, didn't we,
Um,
last season? We were like, imagine
yeah.
if they came back, it'd be so good. And then,
hmm
boom.
You know, I mean, everybody kind of knows how those work, so that's good.
It's a great
We're
system,
definitely that's a good
especially,
system to
especially
come
if it's
back.
got a mechanic to level up and focus again. So,
Agreed. Bell of Conquests is the new artifact, and then below that you get the season pass armor. I assume that's what uh, the, those are probably the ornaments. I know I've
Titan
seen the
one's funny as
joke
hell.
around the community. The joke around the community is the golf balls on the head.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, but I mean, if you minus out the helmet, although I'll say, I think the hunter has the best armor set. Finally,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah, the one in the middle, yeah, definitely that one, yeah.
oh, not the one in the middle. Definitely not that one. That
No,
one
no,
is
I like the one
no.
in the middle because of the shoulder pads. I think they look detached, like they're floating.
yeah. Those
I
those
like that.
shoulder pads are huge.
Yeah,
I
imagine
like
getting
The
it.
shoulder charge
warlock is
playing
okay.
Crucible. That boom.
The the warlock one on his left shoulder pad kind of looks like a bird. Like it kind of looks like he has a bird on him. But
Boom.
Yeah.
I think the hunter easily has the best set. I really
Mhm.
like it. I like how simple, like how subdued it looks. Like it's very like in proportion with the size of like a hunter. And I know the jokes, but like the helmet looks sick. I
You've
actually
got the
really
best
like
helm
it.
out of the three.
Really.
Yeah, you've got the
Easily.
best helm, I think.
I don't. I'm
It
not
looks
feeling it at
oriental to
all.
me.
You don't like it?
No, I really
Okay,
don't like any
so
of this.
when you're done, l- look up Conan the Barbarian. Maybe you can rent it or something. But if you watch the first Conan movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
the bad guys soldiers look exactly like the hunter. So
Okay.
that's the thought I'm getting in my head because I'm like, oh, I love that movie. Like it's
Okay,
a classic.
that works out
And
well, because all people that play
yeah.
hunters are bad. So
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever, man. I like it. I like that the hunter armor has like layers, kind of like samurai armor, but done well for once, not the Iron Banner version that looked like shit. This armor has so much better detailing. So like
mm.
you can see the wood layers and whatnot or whatever. It's wood or metal or whatever. But you can see the segments, which I really, really like. Those little bits of detail and like the rope and the leather. Those are the details that pull me in. Now, he doesn't have a cloak. No,
No,
that's kind of weird to me.
and those pants look chunky. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
I
can't
don't know about
can't
this.
tell. But I could definitely see myself matching that armor with like the Europa boots because I love how the
Oh,
Europa boots have like
oh yeah, that's
the
the best
ice boots
boots.
on them. But he doesn't have a cloak, so that's interesting to me. Now maybe the helmet forms like a short cloak. I don't know. We will see.
You know what? That might be
Uh,
the cloak itself, like
the
the
helmet.
the thing covering the head. It's not the
Yeah.
helmet at all.
It kind of gives me vibes of that armor that in 300 that the elite Persian unit had. The I don't remember what the Immortals.
Mm.
It's just similar. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it's similar. So I think if we look at all of them, I think the Hunter has the best armor. But yeah, it's interesting. And then if you click, oh, you can click it. The Prefectus armor, you can click it, so you can actually look. I really do think that's the Iron Banner armor.
Mm.
If that's not the oh wait, you know what? It's probably just the season pass armor, but without the
Ornaments,
ornaments. Yeah,
right?
you know what? So then we don't know what the Iron Banner armor is going to look like. Okay, well, if that's well, that's weird.
Do we know we're getting an Iron Banner armor set? Do we know we're getting
Well,
a new one?
well, if that's not the set, then I don't even know now. Um, but you know what's interesting? If you look at this picture now, you can see that the hunter helmet is the cloak. You can
Mm.
definitely tell it looks like it's the cloak. So yeah,
Yep.
we're either either that's just not a great looking picture of the ornament, or the cloak gets shorter with the ornament.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yep.
The hunter armor, actually, those boots look a little bit better without the ornament. They look a little
Yeah.
bit smaller.
Yeah.
Interesting. And
Okay.
then it just goes over the season pass rewards. As we can tell, if you scroll through it, that's a sick emblem with like the Royal Cabal sigil. I still think that the Leviathan raids had the best raid emblems in Destiny 2. With all like the Royal Cabal shit. Yeah. So this looks like it's hunter armor on the season pass.
Yeah. That boot,
So
that
that
picture of the
cloak.
boots looks promising.
Oh, here we go. So if you look, the cloak is its own separate thing, obviously. So I think it's kind of like how that armor set with the zipper. You remember that armor set for the hunter and it had like the zipper hood with the vest? I
Mm.
think it's kind of like that, where the hood, if you take the cloak off, it's just the helmet, but it has like a little thing. But
Yeah.
if you put the cloak on, it fully connects, maybe.
Yeah.
There's the linear fusion rifle in the season pass as a legendary. The the Taiku's divination is there. Now it's facing to the right. Now, if I'm correct, do energy weapons face right or left? Because they always face a certain way.
Oh,
Does anybody remember? I
don't.
don't remember. The sidearm is on the season pass.
It's also
Interesting.
facing right. Okay.
Hmm. I wonder. There's a cool looking shader. There's a ghost shell, an exotic ghost shell that actually looks kind of cool. I like all this rusty looking stuff, like it's been through the ringer. As
Mm.
we scroll through, we can start seeing the ornaments, and the ornaments look like they have things on the gauntlets, which I like. We can see. Yep, there you go. There's the helmet right there.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah,
if you don't have the cloak on, the helmet kind of forms like a short cloak. There's the shield finisher. That's awesome. Um, there's the helmet. Is that the helmet? What the fuck? Okay, there we go. The cloak gets shorter when you get the ornament, and it forms part of the helmet.
Mhm.
also, yeah,
Understood.
the Perfector stuff is the base seasonal content because you get it straight away. So
Copy
also
that.
the recaster is restricted for non-season pass users. So
That's actually a good idea. I hate to be the person of bad news, but I think that's a good idea.
and it also says, so I don't know if it normally says it, and it's just a wording thing, but it says seasonal progress track with unlockable rewards. Then it says second seasonal progress track. Does it always
Okay.
say like two? Because the first one is free to all players. So
Um.
why would it be under the season pass part?
Huh. Well, the season pass part, I think that what it means is the paid part.
Yeah, but then that's why it says second seasonal progress track with additional rewards at every level.
Yeah. What's your question?
So under season pass owners,
Yeah.
it's showing it as an exclusive to that, but it's also showing it in free. Whereas it doesn't normally do that, does it? Like if you
Well,
look,
that might just be a typo. Like they just didn't mean to put it there. But
yeah, I was
like I
going to
think
say,
what
yeah,
it's
because like
saying
where it
is
says like
yeah,
3 new strikes, that's not in both sections. So why would
yeah,
seasonal
that might
progress
just be a
strike be in
typo.
both?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
probably a typo.
hopefully.
But I mean, all it's really saying, people, if you do get confused, is what it really is meant to say is that you get the special track of the season pass. So try not to get
Yeah.
confused when
Well,
you read that.
it also
Because,
says that. That's my point. Is that
yeah,
it says that as well. It says it right there, basically. So.
I think they were maybe trying to make it known to people that like, yes, you get the first part, but you also get the second part. But they kind of just
But they don't need to say
put
that
it in.
because it says that it's included for all players as well. So it says it twice, and
Yeah,
that
I
So
think they just
it's just
kind
me
of
being
fucked it
anal.
up.
So
Yeah, I think they just kind of fucked it up.
yeah. So you shit out,
You
would
get
you?
an
No, not
exotic
really.
ship, Sparrow. I want to see what this exotic ship and Sparrow look like.
I want to know what the seasonal weapon quest is because it's not the bow, is it? So
You know, it's clear. You think it's first curse, Nick. I think it's first curse. I'm gonna agree with Nick on that. I think it's first curse. That'd be sick if it's first curse.
I
And if
hope it
first
is.
curse, if it gets like an ornament that's like a royal cabal like fucked up looking, that'd be
Yeah.
sick. Um, and there's an ornament for the bow at the end of the season pass, of course. And I like it because it makes it look like this bow from Assassin's Creed Origins, which is like the bow of Horus or whatever. That's what I've always liked about the Cabal stuff is like it's almost got this sort of Egyptian kind of coloring, the
Mm.
purple and the gold and all that, which is royal colors in Egypt. And then we see the calendar, which is like what you said in the group chat, guys. Transparency. This is the transparency we want.
yeah,
So we see February 9th, Behemoth and Hailstone Battlegrounds. Devil's Lair and Fallen Saber strikes open. Helm comes online. Uh, February 9th, Stasis Aspect quests begin. February 12th, Trials begins. New weapon, new armor, new weapons, and more. February 16th is the Cleansing Battleground, which is the Cosmodrome one. So that means Behemoth and Hailstone must be Nessus and another location that I couldn't really tell. Oracle Battleground. I don't know where that is. Maybe it's inside her ship or something. I don't know. I don't know where that is. Iron Banner as well on the February 23rd. March 23rd. Proving Ground Strike opens for season pass holders. Wait, what?
So proving grounds and battlegrounds are two different things. So proving ground is the strike that comes out on the 23rd of March, which
Yeah, but the
conveniently
strike is
is 2 days
also
after my
listed
birthday.
under free for all players.
What? That's
Yeah,
weird
because
because
yeah,
what?
because so it comes online a week early for
Right.
us, and then it's free
Yeah,
for everybody on the 30th.
but
So
Okay.
why is the new strike dropping almost a month after the
well, it's over a month, isn't it? It's like 6 weeks
yeah?
because
Why is the
it may be
fuck?
story based. So look at Take Leviathan again.
Oh,
So you got to
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
after we
Good
did
point.
something in Leviathan, we got the Crucible map, didn't we? So it could be
Yeah,
story based.
that's a good point. Proving ground. So I guess like yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like we're hunting down her war council, blah blah blah, whittling them
Yeah.
down. Then the strike drops, which I assume would have her commanding officer there. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Still
I
kind
do
of
make sense
sucks
sometimes.
strike's not available, but at least it makes sense story wise. Yeah, that's a
That's
good
if
point.
that is it. It may not be. I may
Mm,
actually be making sense and
I
Bungie
think
might
you're
be
right.
delaying content. So
No, I think you're right. I think that makes sense. I think you're right. I'm gonna die saying I think you're right. And if I die because of that, then it's your fault.
yes. Tell your mum
The
I'm sorry.
Nightfall drops a week later. Iron Banner is again on April 13th. Then the Guardian games are coming back. I don't really care. April 20th to May 9th. I mean, the armor looks better this year than it did last year, but I'm still not going to buy it because I still think it's ugly.
Go, go, go.
Um, Guardian games closing ceremony May 7th and 9th. And who knows? Titans are still going to win this probably because, Hunters can't win anything in this
Yeah.
damn game.
Oh,
And more requires Beyond Light. Makes sense. Available for free to all players is where the Destiny symbol is. So Beyond Light is required though for the Stasis Aspect quest. Okay. Makes sense.
do we normally get 3 Iron Banners a season, or is it 2, or does it depend how long the season's on for? I
At
feel
least
like
3. We've
is it
had
always
3
3?
this season.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's always 3 necessarily, but
It's
I think
3
it's
this
fair to
season at least.
expect 3.
Yeah.
No mention of new weapons or armor. That's a bit worrying to me. That does worry me.
It says it's 25 though, doesn't it? So it might be there. So
I would hope there's new weapons and armor. I mean, new, not old, no reskin, not reissued, new Iron Banner armor, please.
Yeah.
Fuck. But we don't know yet. And then we do know that the Trials armor looks fucking dope for the Hunter, at least. It looks super cool. So if you pay attention during the video, I believe you
like
can
a
get a
serpent,
good.
don't you? Like Egyptian head.
Yeah, I like anything that has to do with Egypt. So like the Hunter armor definitely gives that vibe a bit. So I really like that. But yeah, I mean from first impressions, always temper your expectations, but looks cool. I mean it looks
Yeah.
better than what we got this season.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to at least have a reason to play the game again. I'll be honest, players, I haven't played the game in like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe more. I logged in to do the raid a couple times, but that's about it. So, it's going to be nice to have a reason to play. It's going to be nice to have a storyline that I'm somewhat more invested in, because I actually just like the Cabal. I just think they're really, really cool. So that's just me. I guess if we have to go from 1 to 10, 7, about a 7. Like I'm excited to have to play the game again. So that's me. What about you, Nick?
I think if we're going numbers, maybe an 8 or something. I'm
Yeah.
definitely happy. I think everything here looks fine.
Yeah.
I'm easy to please though, so don't listen to me.
Yeah,
I'd say
right.
I'd say also like just temper your expectations, but allow yourself to have fun because that's ultimately what this is.
Agreed. What about you? What about you, John?
Yeah, I'm a solid 8. I'd probably be a 9 if it wasn't for the uncertainty of the strikes. I really am going to be bitter about that if they are literally the same with no new content, no new storyline, no new reason to go there. If it's literally, I could put my Destiny 1 disc in and go and actually experience them, as they were meant to be played. Um, but everything else, it's a solid 8. Definitely so hyped for it. What do we think the aspects are going to be? I wasn't expecting new stasis aspects. I know that they'd mentioned that they were coming, but then we've not heard anything else since
Yeah.
the launch should be online. So I assumed it had just been scrapped because of the negativity around stasis. But obviously they're doubling down on it, aren't they? So
Mm-hmm.
what would you like to see for a hunter? So
I don't
I need
care.
more time to think about that. I'm
I
not.
don't even care, to be honest. I mean, stasis is cool, but like I
haha,
don't love
stasis is cool.
stasis.
Bum, bum.
Like I don't really, yeah, right. I don't really. Stasis is fine, but I mean, in the Crucible, I know that everybody's mad, and I don't. I'm not going to say people are wrong to be mad. Like
You've
I,
got the right to feel what you want, even though you're wrong.
yeah, yeah. I don't think stasis is impacting the Crucible in a strategically positive way. I think I can understand why people are really pissed off. Uh, I don't love it, but it's in PvE, it's fine. I still think Blade Barrage Hunter is the best super in the game when it comes to like it's just fun to use. Um so I use that a lot personally. Although it does force me to not use the helmet, which I love the helmet from Stasis. It's so much fun. So
Yeah.
it's so
Me too.
cool. It's so cool looking. But this is something that we don't know yet. We don't know what the new exotic armor is yet.
No.
That's what I want to know about. I'm a little surprised that they haven't shown us anything about them yet, with less than a week to go.
Could be
I'm
this
happy
Thursday.
personally.
So
It could be Thursday, you think?
yeah, well they've got to say something for the 12,
They
haven't
got
they?
to say
So
something. Yeah, because I am actually excited to prepare myself to get into those lost sectors for the hunter armor, depending on what it is. So, and I'm just hoping that one piece of the hunter armor is for Solar Hunter because I still think Solar Hunter is just so much fun to use.
I think it'll be
So
neutral. I don't think they'll go specific. I think they'll continue the neutral trend.
that'll be interesting to see where it goes. but definitely, I really want to hear about what those armor pieces are going to be, and I'm hoping they have this weird rusty royal cabal look to them because I love where they're going with this armor style. Like I like the idea behind it, and I love the way the weapons look. They look fucking awesome. So
Yeah, I agree with
bet your
that.
ass I'm gonna farm for those. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping there's a hand cannon
Oh yeah,
for
of course,
this activity. So,
of course.
but yeah, um, John, what's your overall thoughts?
What on the season?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just
What's your thoughts going
So
in?
as I said, like, so a solid 8. I'm just excited by it. Like you, I've logged in a handful of times over the past 3-4 weeks. A lot of that is mainly just check on weapon mods and stuff.
Mm-hmm,
Um, I'd done everything I wanted in the game minus the raid.
mm-hmm,
You know, the week that Hawkmoon came out, kind of thing, and then I've done a few bits after that. Like I've done the High Celebrant and whatnot, but I've not logged in religiously for 2021.
mm-hmm.
And I don't mind that, and I'm going to look forward to that even more with the new challenge system, because if I have got a week where I'm absolutely swamped with work, or at the end of this month when Bravely Default 2's out on the Switch, I'm going to want to put time into that. I'm not going to want to have to be like, oh, I've got to log in on Destiny. If I log in, I log in, but I'm not going to be forced to log in to
Right.
keep up with the progression and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, All right, I'll change my number to 8. I I I was just trying to be somewhat below, but I'm definitely excited to. I'm not as hype as I was when Beyond Light was first announced, purely because we've seen how getting too hype can be. Yes, Bungie does an amazing job in their trailers, but yeah, 8 more so because I just want to have a reason to play, not because I'm so excited. I just want to have a reason to log in. So, yeah, we'll all definitely be there day one to give our thoughts, but um, I definitely think it might be interesting if we do an episode when everything launches and we're like ready to go and like give our thoughts, like do a quick episode just on our opening thoughts. I
Yeah.
think that'd be kind of fun. Like we're all logging in and just like seeing what's up. So, yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is I think a good score. We're just excited to play the game. So like, yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll definitely have an episode ready for whenever these exotics get announced. Which, yeah, you're probably right. Hopefully Thursday. I hope.
If
So.
not, I'm happy to discover them when they come out as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's cool too, and we'll give our thoughts on them too. I just want to see them. Like I don't need to be told what they do. I kind of just want to see what they look like. So will Bungie ever bring back exotic class items? Who knows? That'd be cool though. But yeah, those are our thoughts on the trailer and the TWAB, and we look forward to doing another episode soon. And we thank you all for listening and for being patient with us. And we will get you some updates out there on the Twitter. So thanks for listening. Thank you for joining me, Nick and John, once again.
Thank you. Pleasure.
take care, everybody.
All right. Bye bye.